and being open. And it's different for everybody. Sometimes it just sounds like absolute gobbledygook to start with, but those sounds and those noises hold packages of information and keys. So we're here together. We probably have keys for one another to unlock another part of our journey. So I want you just to have fun and play and let it out. No judgments at all here. We just have fun, really.
It's a free space,
Yeah,
safe space.
yeah.
Well, I thought I would start, if you guys are okay with that, with doing a little breath session just to really ground us all into our bodies and get us really present in the moment and present together, connected. And then we'll go on to do a little bit more about the intro for light language and stuff like that. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Awesome. So it's just a very grounding breath. So I'd invite you to just close your eyes and just begin to breathe very gently through your nose and out through your mouth. And very relaxed, gentle breath. So we're just breathing in and out. And on the inhalation, I invite you to visualize, feel, or know the energy breathing in through you all the way down into the depths of your belly, so that your belly is expanding on the inhale. And on the exhale, all the tension, anything that's tight within you is just going to breathe out through your mouth very gently, very relaxed. We're just releasing it, just sinking into the breath, sinking into the body with the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. And while we're in this state, we're just going to connect in, visualize, feel, or know a red beam of light coming from the base of your spine, connecting you all the way down through the earth, into the center of earth, into the heart of our mother, connecting into that beautiful, loving, unlimited love of the earth mother, the goddess energy, the sacred feminine. I'm going to connect into that space and really feel into that love, feel the support of that. Really breathe into that space and breathe that energy from that heart of the earth mother, from her heart, all the way up that beam of light. And bring it all the way up the base of the spine, through the lower centers, and into your heart space. Breathing through the core, through the base of your body, into the earth mother, breathing her love into your heart, connecting her heart to yours. And just feel into the gratitude and the beauty of this love for a moment, a few breaths. Thank you, Mother. I am love, I am life. Thank you, Mother. From this beautiful heart space, we're going to breathe, visualizing a beam of light, a golden beam of light from the top of your crown all the way up to the sun. I'm going to connect into sacred masculine now, into that father energy, that divine radiant energy, breathing through the sun all the way down into the top of your crown, through your third eye area, through your throat, and into your heart space as well. Just breathing that life-giving radiance, that warmth, that love. Breathing that in and connecting that into the heart space, connecting into the feminine. Breathing into that bridge between the heaven and the earth that we are. And feeling into the gratitude for that love, for that life, for that connection, for that divinity. Beautiful. Thank you, Father. Connecting also from the stars, the heavens, our soul star, our beautiful galactic family, all of our divine beings of light and love that assist us, support us, guide us. We thank you also. We invite you through. Divine light and truth. And just for a moment now, I invite you to breathe into your own heart space. Bring your breath into your heart, in through the nose, out through the mouth, feeling the love filling and expanding on the inhale, And on the exhale, feeling that expand around you, connecting in with each other, all of us in the circle here together. Remembering our divinity, the bridge between heaven and earth that we am. One to another, sisters and brothers, connecting, united. Breathing in the expansion in the heart, breathing in and expanding it out from us, we're our field. Feeling the gratitude for that love, for that connection, for this journey we're going to take this morning, this evening, wherever you are, together. Holding our energetic hands, connecting our hearts with the infinite love of Source. Thank you, thank you, thank you. While we're in this space, I invite you to really feel into the awareness, just observing, no judgment, no criticism, just observing your body, observing your energetic field, allowing thoughts and emotions to float past you as the clouds. Breathe in and breathe out of you. Just going to feel into our bodies for a moment, breathing into the cells, remembering our divinity and allowing that to flow through every cell, visualizing on the in-breath, it filling up all of our cells, our bones, our tissues, our fascia, all the way down into the marrow, into the space in between. And on the exhale, releasing any tension, any distortion, relaxing into the arms of the earth, allowing your body to sink into that divine presence. We're going to do a couple of big breaths in before we finish, and we're going to exhale them out with any sound that wants to release. So we're releasing out any tension or anything that's distortion. So whenever you're ready, we're going to do a big breath in through the nose, and then allow the sound all out of you on the exhale. One more of those, big breath in. One more, big breath in. Feel the belly expand. I am. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From this beautiful place of connectedness, just speak our intention. We're going to go into our own intention shortly, but just the intention of us all connected in this space to really activate our light language, to allow the heart song of our soul to come through us, to allow us to be able to align to the highest self and allow the freedom of that voice, of that love to come through us. Ease, grace, and flow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're ready, just slowly bring yourself back to the here and the now. Just open your eyes and just feel how relaxed your body is. Because I want us to set our intentions for today. But I first of all would like to ask you what it is that you would like to get out of the day, what it is that you would like to achieve with spending this time with Ness and I, so that we put it into our intentions. So, Heike, you open to share?
I always thought this light language sounded beautiful. And so I would just really love to connect to it and hopefully with it connect deeper to everything there is.
Okay, perfect.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Ali? Have you got?
I would like to learn a new tool that would allow me to connect more fully.
Lovely.
Mm.
Perfect.
Connection. I am connection.
Yeah. Colleen?
Yes, I've been in the company of people who have done light language, and I've always found it a bit mysterious. So I'm hoping to learn more about it today.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
And well, we can say our intentions, I suppose, too. My intention really is to be able to share this beautiful gift with you guys, or rather, it's your gift. So hopefully allow you to be able to assist you to be able to align and connect into yourself and into that beautiful all that is that you were talking about, Heike, to be able to bring forth your light language in whatever way it comes through, because it comes through in lots of different ways. And to feel joyful in that space with you, in sharing that or assisting you in finding that within yourself.
Yeah. My intention is to share the tools and the keys that I've picked up. I always say light language is caught, not taught. So just by participating in it, it raises our frequency. It has packages of information and wisdom that we each hold for one another as well as for ourselves. And to activate that and awaken so that we continue to skip along this pathway of ascension with a bit more ease and grace. Mm-hmm. So that's my intention, is just to let you realize that you know this, that you already hold this. This is a tool that you already have. It's taking the first step. And today we're going to take it together. So that's connecting and go for it. I'm all about go for it. Yeah.
Now, we did have a slideshow set up, but when Di said I was technical, she maybe over-exaggerated the chat. I'm going to see if I can share it with you.
I did make a pretty slideshow, but it doesn't matter. We can, I think I might set our intention and then we'll go to the altar. So we'll just change it up a bit.
Yep. Okay.
Sure. All right. So while we've done that, so I just want everybody to just close their eyes again, and we're going to create our sacred space and set our intentions in that. So in this sacred space, we're creating a beautiful crystal temple that each of us have around us. And in this temple, this beautiful space full of crystalline, high-frequency love and light, all of the codes, the keys, the gifts that you hold in light language, whether it be through painting, drawing, sound, song, dance, flow. There's so many different ways for us to express it, or maybe many of those modalities coming together in your universal star language. So in this beautiful sanctuary where we are sitting now, we are totally safe to remember who we truly are, to reconnect with our star languages, the universal language of light, to connect to all parts of ourselves, all codes, all languages that are the highest vibration and frequency of unconditional love. And I ask, and each of us ask our soul to remember the soul's language, the star languages, the light languages in this now moment, through all time, all space. And we acknowledge that our language holds gifts, codes, wisdom for each of us to unlock another part of our remembering that we are all that is. So I also choose, and I hope that you choose, to share the codes with others to bring more light into their world. So in this sanctuary, we can experiment, play, dance, feel safe as we unravel and activate who we truly are. So be it.
So it is. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I am.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. So I always think that it's a great idea to set up a sacred space. And, you know, it can be simply what we just did then, putting ourselves in a crystalline temple and knowing that that temple is with you wherever you do your light language, that you are always of the highest, that the frequency of love and light is coming through, that it's a place where you are one with all, where you are bringing through the highest frequencies. But it's also nice to have a altar set up or a little sacred corner or a little spot in your home. So do any of you have that? An altar? Yeah. What do you put on your altar, Heike?
I have different crystals on it. I have some feathers, special feathers that I have found. Just things like that. Yes.
Nice, nice. Okay. And of course, they're bringing in beautiful energies. The feathers can represent the celestial beings, the angelic ones, the birds, the beauty. There's so many layers to that. Nice.
And do
Yes.
you
Yes.
visit your altar often? Is it something that you use in a regular basis to kind of uplift you or connect you?
I kind of just set it up. It's like right over there, so I keep looking over there. I look at it every day, all day, but I don't really like do any prayers or anything there. So
Yeah.
it's just something that I set up a little extra space just with the things that I felt drawn to and saved on this spot.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep. Nice. Amy, do you have one?
Ali?
Ali, I meant, sorry.
I don't have a specific altar, but I do have objects throughout the house. So it could be either something religious or symbols or crystals or a picture on the wall that a friend made. So it's kind of distributed around the house. I don't have an altar that's dedicated to anything.
Yep.
I think my altar is my heart.
Nice.
I think I'm just kind of carrying it with me.
I like that. Lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Nice. Colleen?
No, I don't have a specific altar either, but I do have right throughout my place. I have crystals and icons, and often when I'm doing prayers and things, I might walk into a particular room and acknowledge that icon or whatever it is, or the painting. And so it's nowhere in particular, but it's in many places.
Nice. And, you know,
Awesome.
Energy comes through when we have often a visual symbol for it. So that's why I like to set up an altar, because it's a spot where I straight away, when I look at it, I'm in that place. I've called in different energies. But I love also that you've got it in your heart at all times. I mean, it doesn't have to be in the physical, and it can be spread around, just so long as you understand that all of those physical representations are helping you to bring the energy in.
Yeah, reminding you. So,
yeah. And it's sacred. So I often will have flowers on there to represent nature, and I'll put the crystals there, and the 4 elements. There could be some water, a candle, sage.
We'll show you quickly our little altar we set up for today. You happy? You would like to see that?
A little altar.
Well, Dianne always has an altar over here in a healing temple, but I'm just going to bring this with me to show you. So can you see any of these items here?
Yes.
So a lot of these things are things that have meaning to Dianne or have meaning to me. This is usually Dianne's altar, so I did bring a couple of things to add today, just to bring some energy to add to, my connection. I'm sure all these things, and we did try and bring in some roses. So we've got we like to always cover the earth, the water, the air, and the fire. So, so these are my little crystals down here and my little magic wand. And we have these beautiful beings as well, which all represent something to each of us, and some little lovely cards that are activation cards as well. I'm not sure if you can see these.
So they're light language cards.
Light language cards, but we'll show you some of those later maybe. And that's all Dianne's beautiful instruments over there. I'm not sure if you can see those.
Oh, yeah, and all my, yes.
The crystal bowls. She does a lot of beautiful sound healing. magical sound healing, these bowls and gongs and beautiful voice that she has that you'll hear shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, so for me, light language came through singing, toning initially. For Ness, it came through, I think, through her flow, her dance, her mudras, her hands. As I progressed, and I've been doing, I guess, since 2000 was when it really anchored, when I realized that I actually do earth work, and the way to do that was through sound. I had no idea what was going on, and I allowed it. I was laughing with Ness and said, when I originally started to talk light language, I used to call it Skippy talk. It sounded so crazy. I was like doing, I don't know if in Australia there was this show called Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, and he'd be going, and the little boy would go, "What's that, Skip? What did you say, Skip?" Well, I kind of talk like Skippy the kangaroo. And I'd be doing these sounds thinking I just sound like a kangaroo.
Yeah, tick sounds.
I've now learned that each of those little sounds, there's a lady in America, Raquel, who she does these really loud bops and pops, which are quite, overpowering. Each of those sounds hold a whole conversation, a whole heap of information in them. So there's no rules to light language. It's just following your heart, and the way you present it is the gifts that you offer in that moment. So,
yeah. And when it first came through to me too, I didn't realize it was only once I started vocalizing it. And I was a little bit shocked at first, actually. I was like, what's going on? And some of my old religious programming kicked in, actually. And I thought, I've been possessed by something. I started getting a bit freaked out because the sounds were very, and then once I realized, I felt into that and I was like, no, this isn't anything bad. This is something actually quite beautiful. I could feel in my heart quite uplifted. My whole energy was uplifted. And then I had another little silly brain thought, I suppose, because I'm a bit of a sci-fi fan. So I had this thing. It almost sounds like in Star Trek, how they have the universal translator that can understand all the different alien languages. And it almost sounded like we were in a meeting with all these different aliens, and the translator had failed, and so nobody could understand each other in a sense, but everyone was saying their own language. But on the same token, I kind of could understand the feeling of it all, which was such a beautiful, joyful. It was very joyful feeling. And so I came to Di. Actually, I'm like, Di, you're never going to believe what happened last night. All these sounds were coming out of me. I was having this conversation. I was at an intergalactic meeting. It was amazing. So, yeah, Di really supported me through that. But I realized, actually, that I've been doing light language anyway through hand movements and through movement, through freedom dance, and also for years with writing. And I didn't understand. I thought I was just doodling these symbols. I didn't know what they were until I saw other people. Once it became something in my world and I started looking at it, and I realized, here's all these people with these writings of light language or artistic pictures. And I was like, that looks like the weird stuff that I write. And so I realized, I've actually been really expressing light language for a while. I just wasn't aware of what it was. So, and it's been amazing benefits. So now I find actually it helps me in my own grounding and connecting, like you were saying you guys wanted to do, in connecting into myself and my highest self. It helps me also with my children. So sometimes when they're unwell or they're having some sort of issues emotionally, or they're very off balance, I can do light language with them, and, they won't sit with me and do breath work or meditation because they're various ages, especially 8 and 11 and some teenagers, but they will allow me to do light language with them, or when they're asleep, sometimes I can move my hands and do energetic and feel the energy and allow that expression to come through, and it really has a positive effect on them and they feel it. So they've got used to mum's weird stuff that I do. Mum's breathing and weird conversations and funky looking dance moves, but they appreciate it now because they feel the difference. So it has a benefit there as well. And it also helps me with being calm, being grounded, and being able to, sometimes we've done group healings together where it's just come out in people. At one of our workshops like this we had in person, and we all kind of had this spontaneous healing session. Everybody felt the benefit, didn't we?
I'm hoping we're going to get to that today, because we all have stuff for one another, and it is so, so powerful. I mean, light language, however it comes about, activates your DNA. It's like plasma light infusions. It will raise the frequency of any given spot. So if you go somewhere and it's feeling a bit dense and heavy, you can, just quietly even telepathically offer some light language to shift the frequency. I've recently become a grandmother and loving it.
Congratulations.
Just loving it. And, I talk light language to this new little human, and wow, like she's such a star being, and she just looks into my soul and we connect, like
Wow.
I do believe that the children coming on the planet now already come talking light language. They're not going to be like us and think, oh no, I can't make that sound, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. They're going to be out there gifting it free and flowing. So there are so many situations that you can use your star language to assist everybody, yourself and everybody. So
and you wanted to ask something, Ali?
Yes. I was wondering if our vocal cords are able to produce the sounds that we're channeling, and if they don't, does it matter at all?
Both really.
I believe that so long as our hearts are pure in whatever we're offering, whatever gift that we're giving, the frequencies and the sounds are overlaid that our human ear may not hear it, but it will be perfect for who you're offering it to.
And however it comes out.
Yeah, sometimes I'll hear a sound that's so out there, and, my fear is, I'm not even going to attempt that. If I'm on my own, I do. But, I think, I'm not going to do it. But it's still, people still will have humongous shifts. So it all comes down, I believe, to our intention. And my intention is always for the highest good for everyone. And really, I just have to get out of my own way. And that's just our wounded egos thinking, it's not going to be good enough, or, it's not going to sound right.
Or people are going to think I'm nuts.
I've got way past that one.
But when you first start out, it is that. It's like, oh my gosh, this sound's wanting to come out of me. I know it's perfect in this moment and I have to let it out. But the brain's going, everybody in this room is going to think I'm crazy and I'm going to sound like a complete idiot. But after a while, you sort of get past that. It comes out and it's perfect and everybody gets something from it, and it works out to be exactly what needed to happen in the moment. And it enlightens yourself as well, because afterwards it's this fulfilling, like, it's recognizing the programs of the mind that really limit us. So,
And, I've got a little quick story on that, I have been doing light language for 25 years now, going wherever I've been guided on the planet to offer it. And I was told once I needed to go to New Zealand. So I went. I didn't tell anyone I was going. I just flew over, sat myself down, thought that something pretty would come out, and it was the ugliest sound you've ever heard. Like, they were guttural, almost like a sounds. They were horrendous, really. And I'm like, I waited for the joggers to jog by before I did it. But what I then saw, and I'm not normally a seer, I'm normally a feeler, more clairsentient, but I literally saw Lake Taupo covered in these pillars, crystalline pillars. And then it was like a grid of, I've got goosies as I talk about it. It was a grid of, to me, they look like diamonds or quartz and amethyst all over it. It was amazing, right? But after I'd finished, I just thought, oh, phew, you're really losing the plot, Dianne. Came home, didn't tell anybody. And I was down at a place called The Entrance on the Central Coast in New South Wales of Australia. And this Maori lady literally came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, I've got a message that I've been asked to give to you. And I was mortified. I'm thinking, oh, God, was somebody stopping me for a message? What have I done? Anyway, she said, Spirit wanted to say thank you. You finished something that was started eons ago and nobody had completed, and it's done now.
Oh.
Well,
Wow.
I should have felt wonderful. I felt horrendous about that, because in my mind and in my heart, I thought, oh my goodness, I've made Spirit find some poor person to come and tap me on the shoulder because of my wounded ego that didn't think, those guttural sounds were too good. And so I actually, from that day on, decided if I'm guided, I'm just going to do it, and trust that it is what it's meant to be. And I've had a few situations where Spirit's gone, oh, Lord, we have to tell her she's okay, and they'll send some poor person to give me a message.
That's only our human doubt that we have. We go to work
Yeah.
all the time.
So I'm here to say to you, don't doubt, trust. We've got pure hearts. And if that is our intention, we really cannot go wrong. And it's certainly my intention. So I'm really, really happy that you've come in onto this call. And I'd like now, because I believe that it is caught, not taught. So I would like now for us to share some light language with you to bring in the intention for us to remember who we are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, like I say, I never know what's going to come through. So we'll just see what happens. Oh, is the sound okay? Can everybody hear us all right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And feel free to join in if something just wants to come up. Let it out.
Yep. This is a group thing.
Yeah.
All right. So. Iana yatataya yamakea. Eloloko yono toto. Oye anana ke anana. Elelelo mama. Elelolo mama. Elelolo mama.
Kate ana koyata. Hayate ane ate. Hi hi hey hey. Hi hey. Hayato yake. Tume atane atu. Hayate ate ayayayayayate.
Maya te akono mayata. Elalaki yana na yana kono yo to yana. Elelele que no rikitikina mai que te que no to no ya la ya na ti como mai que titi. Y chakana la ya na ya kate ya kate que to. I just want you to focus, all of you, onto your solar plexus and see the beautiful golden light just flowing through there and activating your personal power. Just standing in that space of divine grace, divine alignment, as we ask to recalibrate our whole beings for the highest outcome for you today. Just breathing in those little plasma packages of wisdom and light, the keys to unlocking who you are. Call them in, ask your higher selves to fully align with you here and now. Call on your celestial family of light and all those beings that are working with you. Call on your team. Remember your heritage, your star language. Remember who you are and what you bring. Feel your body shift and adjust and awaken and open. Feel the language going through every cell, every part of your being. Feel the gifts of the now moment. Feel your legs grounding down deep into the crystalline heart of Mother Gaia. Feel that connection from Source as these packages of light flow through your being. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. You may still feel that connection. Often our posture changes. Wow, all three of you were so different. Whew.
Did you guys feel that?
So
How are you
different.
feeling? Anyone want to share?
Still some opening in the heart going on, so just allow, give permission again if it resonates for you.
I felt somebody breathing behind me.
Mhm.
And I felt funny feeling, almost like a bit of a tickling in my muscles, in my legs. And I felt like my heart was getting bigger, expanding.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Remember the heart too, that's that stepping off point to all it is. So as it expands, it opens you up to who you truly are. It's beautiful. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm bigger than the building right now. I'll hold on to Ness because I'm trying to ground.
I'm feeling quite grounded.
Yeah. Oh God, Ness, she's the grounded one.
You reckon? Ahead of us two, anyway. Anyone
Anybody
else feel like sharing anything? It's okay if you don't.
I've just felt a lot like around my head. That's where I felt most of the energy.
Cool. Yep.
And it was beautiful. So
yeah, nice. Nice.
I just felt like the deepest meditation. And then at the end, it was like my heart, same as the other lady, my heart just expanded. But it was sort of like within, and then it was expanding.
Beautiful. So that expandedness that you felt, that's when we know that when we're making the light language sounds, it's like they come out of us before we can even think them up, if that makes sense. It's like if I start to think about what I'm doing, it literally gets cut off for me. Everybody experiences it differently, but I might be doing something and I think, oh, is that right? And then there'll be and nothing will come for me, right? I get cut off. But when you're in that expanded state, everything flows. Absolutely. And whether it's you want to express your light language through painting a picture, do that, get into that place and then let it flow. Or if you want to do it through dance, and then dancing in that spot. Like often when I'm in this place, I just move on the chair anyway. It's like I'm in spiral land. So that expansion is the jumping off point. Yeah. Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
It sounds very, very ancient. But then it's only been in the last 10 years or so that people have been, that I've known of, that people have been speaking light language. Is this just like a new tool that's just coming through?
I've actually been speaking light language for about 25 years.
Okay.
And people before me that I learnt off. There was a lady at Byron Bay, Kaliana Raphael Rose. Do you know her?
No.
She did DNA activations way back in the 90s, and I was so called to do that course. It was like everything in my being had to go and do this course with this beautiful lady. And they were the keys for me. They unlocked my light language. That's why I say it's caught, not taught. The minute somebody gives you permission, goosies, the beings in here with you ladies. Oh, my goodness. The minute that you give permission to open up to your star and galactic languages, they will just want it, they want to come through because they're not programmed. They're not stuck in this world that has all the you can and you can'ts. They are pure plasma, organic, angelic, love light energy coming through to raise our frequency. So in answer to your question, we've always had this tool, but there were a few that had it, and now more and more people, because as everybody is being gifted it, it's kind of the ripple effect. You rub up against someone else and they're gifted it. So and the more you speak it, the more you do it, the more people you will, the ripple effect just travels.
And also because the energies are changing, so the frequency is changing. So if you don't mind me going off on my little science buff tangent for a moment, everything is really frequency. Like quantum science is just starting to kind of grasp this, which the ancients already knew. So our mainstream science was a little bit broken in the sense that it's not the knowledge that the ancients had, and the new unified field physics are starting to understand that everything in our reality is actually frequency and vibration and movement. And so what we perceive as reality is also based on frequency. Our entire bodies and the way we function, our health, our well-being, our ability to connect with others, our extrasensory abilities, all of that is based upon the frequency at which we vibrate. So, you know, emotions are frequency based, and there's, you know, guilt and shame and blame and anger are low vibrational frequencies that affect the movement of the cells at a cellular, right in deep into the cells, the atomic structure of our being. So when we feel things that are high frequency emotions like love and connection and beauty and joy, those things increase the vibrational frequency of our atoms right down in the cellular levels of everything around us as well. We're all affecting each other through this electromagnetic field that we emanate from every cell. So we are light beings in that sense. Our nervous systems run off fields of light. There's biophotonic light that radiates from the movement within our cells, from the atomic movement within our structure. And so bringing the frequency, raising the frequency actually makes us more magnetic, more radiant. It changes what we transmit and therefore what we receive. And this affects those around us. It affects our life, really. It changes what we attract to us, and whether we are attracting more joy, more gratitude, more abundance, or whether we're attracting more things to feel shame and blame and guilt and trauma about. So it really does affect every part of our being, every part of our world. And it's how we, by raising our frequency, by connecting with others and doing this together, we are elevating the frequency of humanity. We're actually changing reality. We are shifting reality into a higher evolved state. And the dimension that we're in now, the energy is changing and more people are becoming awakened. I know myself, there's more people who are talking about experiencing things that, you know, 10 or 20 years ago seemed very weird or was shunned or was not allowed to be discussed. But it's because there's like a collective energy that's spreading. It's an awareness, and information is traveling through that frequency, just as there's information in these codes that sound just like sounds, random odd sounds, but they're frequency, and that frequency is what's changing the frequency within us, activating codes within our body, within our DNA, within the reality that we live in, basically, which is all functioning off coding. So I know it sounds a little bit sci-fi, but does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions about that?
Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's why,
that's why you feel like it's, you know, everybody's doing it now because it's getting easier and easier. The veils are getting thinner, frequencies rising.
Yeah. And we're all tuning into that more and more. So we're feeling that connection more. So it's allowing people to rise their frequency more as well. So they're awakening more, remembering, it's activating those codes within us. And it's almost like a returning to our organic self, because to me, our society, our civilization has been quite distorted. The frequencies have been distorted for a long time. So it's almost like they're coming back into alignment, and we do that within ourselves as well by, as Di said, getting out of the way, really. So by breaking down the programming that creates the distortion, we can realign our own frequency to our soul, to our connected, to our higher self frequency. And from there, we're expressing this beautiful ancient sounds, or it sounds ancient because it's the organic, it's the natural way, it's our natural state of being, as is living in joy and love and harmony. So all of this stuff that seems like it's been our way of life, which is based on the opposite of that, is just low frequency distortion. So people like us and doing what we're doing today, we're actually adding to that rising of the collective frequency. We're breaking down those distortions. So the more we do it in ourselves, the more we are doing this for the collective of humanity and for the future, really. So
and really that's probably why you were drawn here today, because our mission for why we came here, they're becoming more and more urgent, really. I feel like there's an urgency, but then maybe not.
What's time?
What's time? I mean, it's just becoming who we are. We want to truly honour who we are and the wisdom that we each hold. So I love that Ness has all this science background and can put all the pieces together, because I just tend to bypass my brain and I just go, but it just feels right.
Yeah.
But it is right too. The veils have thinned, the matrix are falling down, the new frequencies are creating a new earth, and we are building it with our love language, our light language, our star galactic wisdom and heritage.
And I'm just someone that has to know the whys of everything.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But why? But how's that
I
work?
just know the why, but I
Diane's
don't.
like, I don't need to understand that. I just know it. I feel it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel it too, but my brain's gone. But how does that make sense? So, yeah.
The other thing too with light language is that it will remove entities. You know how we pick up things off people and cords and that. So it will clear your energy field. So you can just at home, with an altar, without an altar, just in your space, put yourself in that, your crystalline temple, whatever feels right for you, your sanctuary, whatever you've created for you, and just balance your energy up with your intention and make the sounds, make the movements, whatever it is that you're called to do. It actually, if you do that every day, it will get easier and easier, and your whole energy field will change, like Ness said. So,
and on that note, does anybody want to do some movement with me? Is anybody keen to do some movement and some freeing up of any of those distorted patterns? Because
I'm thinking if anyone needs a toilet stop, we have a 2 or 3 minute toilet stop if they need it, and then do the movement.
Yeah, because I was I was thinking more we'll do some quantum flow. Okay. I learned this methodology, quantum flow, from a teacher, Wampa Barahona. He's from Costa Rica, and it's really what he put together over years of becoming like he's one of these guys that when he learns something, he has to go deep into everything. And so he did yoga, and he did Tai Chi, and he did shamanism, and he did all sorts of Indian Sanskrit stuff and whole range of modalities. And then he actually channeled quantum flow. It kind of came to him one day as, this is a new method. This is a new way of bringing in all of the positive and the beautiful benefits of what all of those modalities had, but in a way that's not as structured. It's got its own structure, but it's not about having to spend your whole life to become an expert in each of those fields. You can really, in one session, and multiple sessions obviously are going to help as well, but you can really transform break down the distorted patterns or programs that are in your core that you hold within your lower centers in the nervous system. So when we get programs, traumas, and different things that happen in our life, they store in the nervous system, and they kind of crystallize, and they stay in these, like in the lower belly where the lower chakras are. And we can do some breath and movement that really breaks down. It opens the synapses of those. It breaks them down through core work, and then it opens the synapses just enough to hold the nervous system connections there, separated long enough to bring the energy up into the upper centers. And once we breathe them up into the upper centers and we do certain movements, and then we connect those back together again, we are re-imbooting a new program into the nervous system, basically, which is like the programmed of our biological computer. So if we had, say, something like we're underconfident, we feel unworthy, or we're not enough, we can do this method to break those things down in the lower centers, and then we would input a new program that is, I am worthy, I am enough, I am divinity, I am love. Whatever your thing is, I'm confident, I'm capable, I'm abundance, whatever your opposing program is. So it's really about sort of biohacking the nervous system. But in this instance today, rather than going into a whole big technical thing on it, it would be more to sort of break away any distortions or anything that might be keeping us from getting into that elevated state of alignment. So bringing some of that lower based energy up into the higher centers, transmuting it, bringing it up, and allowing us to go from there into some flow, or maybe some sounding and some, so we'll do a little bit of movement to do all this. Is everybody keen to give it a try?
Yep.
Yes.
You will need a little bit of space just to be able to move your arms and things like that. And
we might move the computer out onto the veranda so we've got more space.
So while everyone goes and gets a drink or has a pee stop.
So just have a piddle stop and a drink of water or something, and then we'll meet you back and we'll take it out to the veranda.
Can I change into my pajamas?
Yeah, pajamas are good.
Perfect. I didn't want to get out of mine.
I think everyone should live in pajamas.
All right. Well, I